Welcome to another episode of Quick Tech Tips and Reviews. My name is Tony, and with this channel, I try to bring you guys a variety of different tech-related content. So, if this is your first time with us, please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you hit that little bell so that you're alerted to when I release new content. In today's video, we're going to unbox and take a first look at the Ubiquiti Cloud Key Gen2 Plus. Okay guys, so today we're going to open up the Ubiquiti Cloud Key Gen2 Plus. This guy can operate as a Unify controller as well as the Unify Protect video and VR all in one device. So let's get started by opening up the box and seeing what's inside. Ubiquiti did a really fine job with the packaging. It actually reminds me very much of Apple type products. Very tight packaging, very clean and crisp. Let's open it up and see what we got. Okay, so the first thing is a packet with a quick start guide, a card introducing the Unify Protect, and some video window stickers for the Unify Protect system. Next, we have the device itself, and it's wrapped in cellophane. Let's just rip that off and take a closer look at the product itself. Let's take a look at some of the features and stats for the Cloud Key Gen2 Plus. So it'll run the Unify controller and the Unify Protect video surveillance software. It comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive and it's upgradable to 5 terabytes. Ubiquiti says this device can store up to or can support up to 20 cameras. Looking at the technical specifications, it comes with 3 gig of RAM memory. The CPU is an 8-core 2 gigahertz ARM processor, and it has eMMC memory of 32 gig. Under ports and power, it has a gigabit Ethernet port on the back. The maximum power consumption is 12.95 watts PoE and 16 watts with the adapter. And the power methods are standard 802.3 AF PoE, 9 volt DC, or 3 amp USB-C. So now that we've taken a closer look at the features and the stats, let's look at the unit itself. On the front of the unit, you have the display area here. On the top of the unit, you have the Ubiquiti logo, and then you have an indicator status light in the lower corner here. On the rear of the unit, you have an on-off switch. Then next to that, you have a USB-C power port. Right above that is the reset button. Then you have your Ethernet port, and right above that is the micro SD card slot. Then all the way over here on this corner, you have another USB-C port, and I guess that's for future expansion. On the side of the unit, you have your Kensington lock. On the bottom of the unit, you have your FCC information and model information. You have your hard drive release button here, and then this is for use with the optional Ubiquiti rack mount accessory. It allows you to mount this device into a standard 19-inch rack. Okay guys, so I have the unit. I'm going to plug it in for the very first time. I'm going to plug it into my Lab US 60 watt switch. Is going to supply PoE power to power up the unit. So we should see something happen on the display. This guy should boot up, and eventually we should get an IP address via DHCP. So we do have the Ubiquiti logo on the front display, so that's a good sign. We'll get the unit all powered up, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the actual interface itself. So we're at the device's main page, and I did receive a DHCP address of 192.168.1.42. I pointed in my browser to that address, and this is what was returned. So you can see here we have 3 options. So we have the Unify Software Defined Network, which is your Unify controller. We have the Unify Protect, which is the video surveillance software. And then we have just the regular general maintenance and management of the Cloud Key itself. So that's what we're going to take a look into today. Eventually in the future, I'll do a video on setting up Unify Protect. And instead of doing a video on setting up the Unify controller, I think what I'm going to do is see if I can migrate from my old Ubiquiti original Cloud Key. Hopefully it'll work. we'll go from there. But for now, let's click on Manage Cloud Key and logging in for the very first time. So the username and password should be Ubiquiti. And there we go. So we're brought to the overview page, and we can see some of the statistics of the unit here. We can see that the internet is connected and the gateway address. We have our memory, which is 3 gig. And the first thing it's asking us to do, as you can see here, is changing the password. So that's a good thing. So the old password is Ubiquiti. We'll just make this something different and say submit. And we can see password was changed successfully. Okay, we're not going to go into the applications at this time. Before we go into configure, let's take a look over here at the system stats. And you can see here's the CPU, the Qualcomm 64-bit 8 cores, and we have a 3% load. We're running the temperature of 38 degrees, and I'm assuming that's Celsius. And then we have a 24% usage of the memory. And then as far as storage here, you can see we have 0% storage of the 1 terabyte drive. And then it also says you can insert the SD card to get your backup better protected. Okay, so now let's go back to the overview page and click on the configure button and see what we're presented with. Okay, so here we have our general preferences where we can give the Cloud Key a name. I'll just leave it as Cloud Key Plus for now. I'll set the time zone. And I'm going to leave the configuration mode. No, I'm going to change the configuration mode from DHCP to a static IP. And I'm going to set that static IP to that of my old Cloud Key, which is 192.168.1.2. And I'm going to put in a secondary DNS of 1.1.1.1. And it says here that we have an update available. We can update to version 1.1.0. So I think we'll do that. I'm going to leave the reset button on. And we have some other options here, like we can power on and off or power off the device, reboot the device, or do a factory reset. And then there's information about the Unify SDN and also the Unify Protect. So for now, let's go ahead and save. And I'm probably going to have to relog into the Cloud Key now using the new address. So I would change this up here to 192.168.1.2. And there you go. So we're going to go back into Manage Cloud Key. And we'll use our Ubiquiti username with our new password. Okay, we're back in. Let's go back to Configure. And let's run the update. Do you want to update firmware to 1.1.0? And we'll say OK. All right, guys, it's downloading the firmware. I'm not quite sure how long this will take, but I'll be back as soon as the firmware has been installed and the device has been rebooted. Okay, guys, so the update and installation and reboot took just under 2 minutes. So I guess that's going to vary based on your internet speeds in your location. As you can see now, we're up to the latest version and we have a new sign-in page. So we'll come here and we'll enter our credentials. We'll see what else has changed. Okay, so now the interface looks slightly different. Here's our overview. Here's our general information. Then up across the top, we have a couple of different options. So let's click on performance. And now you can see here's our CPU load, our CPU temperature, memory usage, storage of the internal hard drive, and then storage of the onboard memory. Okay, nice. So let's take a look up here at the controller option. And you can see that we have the Unify Network Controller, and we have the options to set up the network or stop the network, as well as setting up Unify Protect or stopping Unify Protect. So like I said, in another video, I'll probably do a Unify Protect setup, and we're going to do a migration from my old Cloud Key Gen 1 over to this new Cloud Key Gen 2 Plus. Let's click on Network. And we have network activity and status. Right now, we don't have any information there. Oh, actually we do. I'm sorry. That was just expanding and closing. Duh. Okay, so we have data transferred. You can see the information there. And then under advanced configuration, it's showing us that we have our IP is static, and we can change that to DHCP here, and showing the static IP address and all of the network information. And then finally, under settings, we have our general settings, our device name, our time zone, our hardware configuration. So let's see what we got. We can do a factory reset, power off the unit, and reboot the unit. And then under firmware, it's showing us that our current firmware version is 1.1.0 and it's up to date. And we also do a manual update as well. So there you have it, guys. If you liked this video, found it helpful, and would like to see more videos like this, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out some of my other videos up above. You can help out the channel by remembering to subscribe, give the video a like if you haven't already, and share the video. And remember to use those Amazon affiliate links down in the video description below. I know they don't change your price, but they do help out the channel. My name is Tony with Quick Tech Solutions. As always, I thank you for watching. See you next time.